I give all my love, and nothing's gonna tear us apart.
Hey, what's up you guys, it's Eli. Welcome back to my channel, and today we have a New Year's same wig because I'm too lazy to buy a new one, so I'm going to be reinstalling an old wig. If you're wondering where I got this wig from, probably Amazon, so check out my Amazon storefront. But I do want you to know that I do add an extra bundle to just about any wig I get from anywhere. But anyway, on to the tutorial. I already had some straight back, so I'm using those for this video. I always go in and moisturize my hair with whatever hair oils I'm using. I don't have a specific one that I use every single time I do my hair, but for this video I did use the Mielle one. I'll have that also linked on my Amazon storefront. And I go in with a cap, but I don't do the bald cap method. I don't really see the purpose. Personally, I don't ever put the glue on my hairline to the point where it could be pulling my hair out anyway, and that is what the bald cap method is for. So if you're just very specific about your glue placement, you won't have that problem. So first and foremost, I always go in and put my wigs on just to make sure that they still fit how I want them to. Sometimes when you're reinstalling a wig and you're cutting some of the lace off, it just might not lay in the way that you're used to it laying. So I always go through and measure it, and then I'll comb back all of the hair. I don't like getting any type of little stragglers in the glue when I'm trying to lay the wig down, even though I do go out and pick them out later. So I always make sure to comb them back to start. And this is what I meant when I said your glue placement is very important. I use Bold Hold, the active one, and then Bold Hold Liquid Gold. That is a tongue twister. And I go in with a comb so I have more control over where I'm placing everything that's going on my head. And I start out with one layer of the Bold Hold Active, one layer of the Bold Hold Liquid Gold, and then a third layer of the Bold Hold Active. And I do all three layers using the comb. I go right in front of my hairline and comb it back. I guess I go a little bit further than just in front of my hairline because I am pushing the products back towards my hairline, still keeping them off of my hairline, except for these little sideburns on the side because for some reason they stick out further than my hairline on both sides of my head. So those do get a little glue in them, but I haven't had any issues with them coming out, so it's not really a problem for me. Once I'm done applying all three layers, you can go in and do a blow dry on the cool setting. I just had my hand fan closest to me, so that's what I used for this. Usually I would just let it air dry until it gets clear and then put my wig on, but this was just what I decided to do this day. After it is mostly clear, I do let it stay a little white on my sides because I focus on making sure that the front of my hair is down first. So by the time I'm done worrying about that, the sides are usually clear. I'll go through and place the wig exactly how I wanted. And I do this trick of pulling hair from both sides of my head. I find that when I try to place the wig down, usually the sides are the part that kind of scoot back on me. So I make sure to pull them and I'll hold them underneath my chin until I put my wig band on, just to make sure that they're staying perfectly in place. And again, I don't like any stray hairs getting into the glue. So I'll go through and comb the hair back one more time before I put my band on, just to be sure. And you can see where I'm pulling or I'm combing and it's kind of pulling the lace back. There are little hairs already stuck under. So I just want to make sure all of those are out as much as I possibly can before I put my band on. Because once you put the band on, you're kind of really solidifying that those hairs are going to dry underneath the lace, and I don't want that. And for any lace that is just left out and can go, I'll go in with an eyebrow razor and just cut that off. I also do this on brand new wigs. I always use an eyebrow razor. I feel like they just give me a much better line because a straight across line just looks very unnatural. So I think the razor, when you can move your hand back and forth and kind of twist your wrist and you get those kind of jagged edges that aren't as visible to the naked eye, it works a whole lot better. While the hair is setting, or while the lace is drying down, I guess, I like to go through and kind of brush the hair, comb it, figure out where I want my parts to be and how I want the hair to lay. For this style, I did a middle part, which is different for me. I'm usually a side part girly, but the middle part ended up turning out very cute. And I wanted to say, since this is an older wig, I did wash this with a silicone mix that I show later in the video, just to make sure that the hair is, you know, up to par. Like, it just has a little bit more quality than if I was just to wash it regularly, because your wigs do need a little deep shampoo type vibe. A conditioner is not enough. The wig needs to be clean. You need to re-straighten some of those bonds and make sure that it is conditioned and moisturized. After that, I'll go through and take my band off and cut off any stragglers of lace that just didn't lay down. Some of them I will lay if they're like crucial to the structure of my hairline in the front. But if they're pieces that just don't really need to be attached anymore, I'll just go ahead and cut them off. To get my lace color where I wanted, I used the NYX matte bronzer. I believe this is in the shade Deep. I'll check and make sure. But I like powder on my lace as opposed to anything else. I feel like it's the one thing that doesn't make your lace look cakey. So the powder is always a go-to for me. And I know you can't tell under this lighting, and that's one thing I do hate about wigs, is different lighting will show your lace differently. But I feel like under this lighting, it's still very apparent because of how bright my studio light is. But once I'm in the bathroom, which you'll see later on in the video when I'm further styling, it looks beautiful, and it looks really good in person too. Welcome to the styling portion of this video. Since the hair was wet, because I did do that silicone wash and condition on it, I went through and blow dried it. I did put my band back on because you saw in an earlier clip after I took it off the first time, there were some pieces of lace that weren't completely down. So I went and did another small layer of the Bold Hold Active on it before I put the band back on. So while it's on this time, I'll go through it and get to styling so I can kill two birds with one stone. My goal for my hair was to have it look like it's a natural straight, but kind of get some of the kinks out. I think when I just let it air dry, it gives it like a slightly less put together look. So I want it to look natural, still have a little bit of texture to it, but not looking like I washed it and just walked out of the house and just let it do what it pleased. I wanted like a tamed kind of messy look. So I went in and straightened it. For some pieces I did the chase method, for some pieces I just straightened. and just kind of let it fall how I would want it to. I didn't want to get every single kink out. I didn't want like bone straight for what I was going for. Just something light and cute. And then you'll see when I took the band off for the second time, look at it. What lace? What lace, girl? What lace? What lace? I know it's eating. I know it's eating. It's eating. I'm aware. I'm telling you, under different lighting is where you're gonna see the difference in your wigs. It's so crazy. And it's one of my least favorite things about wearing wigs, I promise. But at this point, I thought my hair looked too flat, so I just wanted to give it a little bit of bump. So I straightened it back and then flipped it back over, and it's gonna have that little line. Just re-straighten that line out. But I do think the going back and then going back forward, gives it that really cute bump. Like, you see the bump now? I feel like when it's too flat, it just looks kind of awkward and odd. So just something slight to the front, just something slight, girl. Sometimes I'll go and give the front pieces like a little curl, just something face framing, because when it's not, it just looks so awkward. At least on me, it looks really awkward. And at this point, I was really feeling myself because, like, I love a style where I can do it and it looks cute and it looks natural. Don't have to have any makeup on, don't need a brow. I can just walk out like this and it would look cute. That is one of my favorite things. And one of my 2025 goals was just to look more put together. And I love a look that looks put together with very low effort. So this was perfect for me. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a lot from this video. And if you did, leave me a comment. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see y'all next Friday.
Gonna tear us apart.